play as Terran player.
Yep, and here he is on the left side. The red command center is the starting structure for the Slayers, Terran Slayers Ryung.
Being a 1-0 in this best of 3 series in the first round of Code A, and he's facing, as mentioned before, an Zerg player. It's a second Zerg for TSL today. It is a Ragnarok. Was not able to achieve victory on Daybreak in the first game. He was not scouting at all with the drone, so he didn't have any idea about what exactly was going on.
And now he's not making an extractor. Okay, he's making his overlord on 10. I thought he might 10 pull, which would be crazy on this map, but he's actually just making his overlord on 10, so it's fine. There's the extractor. Okay, so I'm sorry, I just had a moment of weakness, and I just predicted everything wrong there.
No problem.
It's just rare to do this, but it does occasionally happen.
Just to elaborate on what you just said, so if you actually try to, usually you don't try to 10 pull in a TVZ for one reason. Some people try to go for a 6 pull or even a 2nd pull because what they try to achieve is that they run in before the wall is actually done, and they use the first scouting drone to block the 2nd supply depot. If you can hold this for a little bit and your drone doesn't die, then you will be able to run in with the Zerglings as well. If you're going for a 10 pull, that usually doesn't happen because at this point you already have the wall up on top of the ramp if your opponent doesn't go for some kind of crazy build variation.
And even if, for example, you go in and they made the commands from low ground, they can still wall and you won't be able to break in very easily with preparing SCVs, and the build time of somebody goes so quick. And anyways, yeah, he's not going to go for a 10 pull, he just did that extractor trick. And I misread the production tab. I thought he would have done the extractor trick already.
He's trying to sell the idea again that he's seen another double barracks, and Ragnarok is now just heading into his opponent's base and he sees that there's no barracks, so he needs to scout properly right now in order to have an idea about what's going on. He even sends out a 2nd drone. Is he actually going for double hatch? Yeah, he is.
He's just gonna do it, man.
Wow, he's going for a double hatch. Did he assume that there was a command center? He's just risking it.
I think he's just risking it. You're right.
He sees the Marine now, and he knows that there's definitely one barracks, but this is a huge risk that he takes here.
Yeah, what if it were a 2 racks? I mean, he would have been screwed.
If that was 2 racks, he would already be dead. But even with the 1 barracks, this is a lot of pressure that's coming his way right now, especially since Ryung is going straight into the double gas.
He knows now what's going on. Actually, he does. He sees the timing of the pool, so you should know, okay, there's 3rd hatchery, needs to go and check for that right away, sends the SCV. Actually sends the SCV home.
Additional supply depots
does re-rally that, because he's got to know.
He has a quick poke at the 3rd. He knows there is already the 3rd hatch, and this is going to be very, very interesting. Because Ryung right now is, of course, aware that there is no aggression coming his way. That means he can play a little bit more greedy. He knows that there's no chance that there's some kind of attack within the next few minutes. And he starts to bunker, which has already been spotted by the drone. Very well played by Ragnarok here. He knows exactly what the weakness is of his strategy, and he tries to make sure that he's not going to be punished for what he decided to do. Now the Zerglings are being built, but still, with the tech that's coming for Ryung, Ragnarok has to make sure that he will be ready.
Yeah, he does need to prepare very well for this. Right now he's making 2 additional queens. They're his first 2 queens, in fact. Everything is a little bit delayed because he went for that pool so late. But he will want to have some extra queens to help defend that 3rd hatchery, not only against the Hellions, but against the Banshees as well. The cancel there on some of his links, wants to save those minerals or something else. Very rare to see a Zerg player cancel because you lose the larva when you do that.
And at this point now, we will of course have Ragnarok scouting his opponent's main base with the Overlords that are in position very soon because he wants to know what's going on. With the Zerglings that he has in the middle of the map, he could actually poke a little bit and could have a glimpse at the factory with the reactor. The starport, of course, as the follow-up. Ryung playing it pretty standard here. What you expect from Terran players these days in this matchup. And Ragnarok should be ready for this. He has the drone count of 33 at this point in time, and we have him with a 3 base saturation, so now he has to defend against these Hellions. In order to pull it off, he needs to have decent creep spread if he wants to rely on speedlings, but so far we only have 2 queens. We don't even have a 3rd queen out to saturate the 3rd.
He's dumping all of his resources in the drones, makes 4 lings now, And he is getting 2 spines, one at the third base and one at the natural. That's going to really make it so the Hellions are going to take some extra damage, but the spine's not going to be up in time for the first 2. Shouldn't matter too much since the queen is out at the third, and he's not even going to try to go in there. He knows that's not going to be successful.
Yeah.
The Banshee, though, may become a concern with no queens as well. He's going to either need extra queens or Spore Crawlers to defend that.
It's a very thin line that Ragnarok is now walking. He can't afford any mistakes. If there are too many Hellions in there trying to sneak in, then he might be in danger. Right now, he's a little bit vulnerable, but he is really trying to take every precaution in the book. He's going for the double spine crawler, completed them already, as Wolf pointed out. And we have him with additional queens.
Yeah.
3 additional ones, and they are also important to him. He has speed as well. The Overlord trying to get a glimpse of what exactly is going on. But now he will soon be safe against Banshees. He has the Evolution Chamber. And most important, for Ryung, no cloak.
Yeah, no cloak at all. And that means that the Banshees, depending on how many Spore Crawlers he forces, I believe he's only going to make 1 Banshee. Yeah, he's only going to make 1. So if he makes a lot of Spore Crawlers, even Overseer immediately, just because of this Banshee, then that's going to be well worth it already, because that's drones that are not mining. You're basically paying money to lose drones, and you make Spore Crawlers very useful. You're even going to lose a drone or 2 here at the main base. Yeah, just 2.
He builds 4 Spore Crawlers in total, and this is still fine because now he can just make sure that he has 1 Spore Crawler at each base he's taking to lair, and just the economy that he has will help him with this quite a lot.
Yeah.
At 55, 56 drones, still droning up, only relying on those 5 queens, the 23 Zerglings, he's in a decent position. But Ryung is getting his third base up as well. He's already starting +1/+1 for his barrier units. So right now, both of them just basically agreeing on not being too aggressive at this point in time, when we will see a long macro game between these 2 players.
Ryung has switched his starport onto Reactor right away, and he didn't have the resources to actually start medevacs just yet. He's researching 1-1, he's getting Stim, he's getting Siege Mode, he's also just adding 4 barracks right now. But he has the ability to make medevacs, and he will start those very soon. There they are, first 2, and he's adding those 4 barracks, so his production is really hitting its full strides now with that third base up, all the barracks being added. He's adding the armory now so he can get 2-2. He's not really missing a beat with how he macros here. But his Hellions have not really done any damage. They have denied creep, though. The creep spread here for Ragnarok is pretty weak, considering we're already at the 10-minute mark.
Ragnarok just doesn't know about the third base yet, but he has a really nice boost in when it comes down to his overall supply. And of course, his economy is great right now. He's actually going for a Spire here, so we will see this Ling, Baneling, Mutalisk style for him, while he's still trying to catch these Hellions, something that he won't be able to achieve. Oh, maybe with a run by here. Oh! Pins them down into a corner. No, not just yet. Able to take down 1.
But that's one extra one there. The Banshees will be very annoying here, making it so that the Lings have to decide whether they want to stick around or not. They can't run around forever when the Banshee starts to pick them off.
The upgrades are great though for Ryung. He's already on his way to get +2/+2, whereas Ragnarok currently is still struggling with 1-1. But those Mutalisks might do a lot of damage here. First missile turret is being built though. Ryung already suspecting that something might be up here. Not getting too many missile turrets just yet, but he has 1 as a precaution.
Yeah, it's always important to have just a missile turret or 2. It can even help out late game if someone tries to start running infestors into your main base. So you have the turret to have vision, you don't have to use those scans. And right now we see Overlord speed, of course, Baneling speed. The upgrades, as you mentioned, though, are so important. And Ryung, if he gets a lead on 3-3, for example, this could be terrible. Oh, Ragnarok not realizing his Lings actually getting caught here. Not, I mean, a game ending to lose these Lings, but it's annoying because it gives you a little bit of a feeling of vulnerability here, and now he also spots the hatchery as a result, so he has to cancel the hatchery on the right side.
Yeah, the 4th has been cancelled, and this is of course a big problem on Antigua Shipyard. 8 Mutalisks are being built, +2/+2 being started, and I'm really interested to see how exactly Ragnarok is going to play this. Will he commit to more Mutalisks, or will this just be the only Mutalisk that he has to shut down drop play, and at the same time trying to take a... He actually tries to take a 4th here, while he's immediately being spotted by his opponent, and look how actually we have Ragnarok chasing down everything that Ryung has.
Just an incredible play here by Ragnarok. Just so bold with his hatchery taking, and we saw it from the beginning. He's going to have to get chased back by this second wave, but he waits until the last second to turn around, even getting the medevac. Just very aggressive play. He's gone up to 91 drones right now, and he's really needs that 4th base to actually make use of them. But I'm loving this play, but at the same time, Ryung aggressive at denying the creep spread. He actually went so far forward there and used some aggressive scans to push that creep back. So both players just attacking each other as much as possible. cutting all the corners, really.
Ryung is trying to apply pressure, but it forces Ragnarok to retreat with his Mutalisks right now, trying to get into a decent position here, but the high ground is now in control of Ryung, which is so important as a Terran player. You want to put pressure on this middle base for the Zerg, and Ragnarok, this is one of the reasons why Ragnarok is getting another base to the right side of the map, and the Zerg getting into position. He wants to crush this force on the high ground.
He really does. He's got a lot of mutas to support here, and the siege tanks, they do target, but it looks like Ryung is definitely going to lose the high ground. He's going to lose at least one of these siege tanks. The second one may fall if he decides to run around, but Ryung still hangs on here, and you're so right about taking the base to the right side. Ragnarok needs that base because he cannot mine from here, and he knows it. And he knew from the beginning when he took that base, that was not going to be his primary base unless he could somehow grab onto that high ground.
Nice catches the Banshee as well, really important here. But now Ryung in the supply lead, only because the bank for Ragnarok has not been used just yet. His +2/+2 is nearly done. Then he will be on even footing with the upgrades, but he's attacking before the upgrades are done. And this gives Ryung an edge in the fight, and he takes it.
That was a bit preemptive by him, and yeah, he didn't have the upgrades, and also that attack was just, it was destined to fail from the beginning. Ryung just had too good of a position. Now Ryung's got 3-3 on the way. He's taking out more and more tumors. His hatchery is still useful. Ryung has a sensor tower on the top, so he knows if any flanks are going to occur. There's a Mutalisks attack at the third base, though. He's going to have to be careful about that. Only 2 turrets in place there.
But he retreats with the Mutalisks. He doesn't want to fight the turrets just yet. He does not really have the count, relying on Zerglings once more. But the Terran player is now in a very good position here, taking the base in the middle of the map and even spotting the drones that head over to the right side of the map to saturate the 4th base, which is where Ryung is headed now with a medivac. That just is missed by those Mutalisks. Oh no, the Marines already out a fair amount of them. This is still a decent trade for Ryung.
Yeah, he actually needs to get those mutas away. He does, but he loses actually so many of them. You said it's already a decent trade for him. And every time he wants to go and attack the 4th, he knows when he has to come back. He's got the sensor tower, and he runs back. The siege tanks completely uncontested here. I mean, like, the mutas were long far away, and now he's basically lost all of his banelings before they did any damage. Now the Marines are going to clean everything up. Ryung takes a 50 supply lead.
Great splits. Really well done by Ryung. A nice setup with all those siege tanks. Ragnarok was running in, was spaced with all those tanks. We had the manual targeting by Slayer's Ryung as well.
Yeah,
doing a great job here.
He killed the hatchery to the right side where he was killing the mutas, so there were no mutas to lead in and take out siege tanks, so it was basically straight up siege tanks versus banelings, and that's never a good fight for banelings, especially like you said with the manual targeting. And now Ragnarok has no 4th base. He's got a macro hatch, but Ryung has a 4th. It's a planetary. He's got control of the center. He's going to have 3-3 against 2-2. He's getting +2 for his siege tanks right now.
Alright, now Ragnarok is desperate. Look at these splits by Ryung.
Oh, GG.
A nice siege tank shot, and GG, this is it. Ragnarok is back in Code.
Yep, a very quick appearance in Code A. Like Sleep, it was his very first, and he fell 2-0 to another Terran. Ragnarok showing great play in the online tournaments he's played in. He's been spoken of very highly of. Maybe some nerve issues sitting in the booth, because as far as I know, this is his first time sitting in any booth. I don't think he has played in the booth in an international tournament. And this is not the big Code A day. This is actually kind of the lighter side where there's not a huge crowd or anything like that. This is kind of like the early morning session, but still, Ryung really just cleaning him out like it was nothing in this best-of-3 series. But don't go anywhere, guys. We are going to have another 5-minute break. When we come back, we'll have Vampire up against the SK Telecom player, Sock.